Hey YouTube, thought I'd shoot another video of the Dex410r V3 build that I've been working on. I'm actually to the point of the CVDs, so I figured I'd just shoot a build. I built two in the front, got two in the rear to build, so I figured I'd shoot a video of how to build them. It's the metal parts. One thing I would do: take your motor cleaner, spray them down, wipe them off. You'll find that they're dirty. There's grease from when they're machined and stuff. There's grease on them, and there's brown dirt. There's just, when you wipe them off, you'll see the dirt on the rag. And the reason I say spray them down and clean them up, the metal pins, the little things where the grub screws go in to hold the pins, the Loctite will, I think the Loctite will adhere to the metal better when they're clean versus dirty. Just makes sense. So I'll go ahead and do this build here. One of the things, the pin that holds everything together, one of the things I like to do, take some white out, makes it easier. On the flat side, you won't see this on camera because I can't get the camera any closer. The flat side, there's on this pin, which there's a flat side, and then there's a round side. It's a round pin, but there's a little spot where it's flat, where the grub screw will go into and hold it in place. I put a little white on that flat spot, so when I put it together, it's easier to see. The other thing is take some black grease. It can be any black grease. This is team associated, but any grease, really. And I'll put a little bit in there. Okay. Not a lot, just a little squeeze. And I'll take a toothpick and just move it around in there so it's smeared around. It's not one big clump. Okay, do that on both. Smear it out, move it around. Make sure the grease is in there, covering everything. You want it on the inside, you don't want it on the outside. Anything that gets on the outside, just wipe it off. You want it on the inside of there. Keep the outside clean. Next, I'm just using the Loctite that came in the kit. I don't know if it's any good. I guess after I run it, I'll find out. Let's move these out of the way. Put a little bit of Loctite in the top. This is where the grub screw will go in. I pound it down so it gets down in there. And actually poke down through there so it works its way down. Alright, then just let that sit. Take the other one, do the same thing. Just dab on, no, I didn't get enough in there. Just drop on top. You don't want it on the outside of it. And the metal piece, you just want it on the inside. Poke a hole in this. I poke a hole in the top because it's like a bubble. And once you do that, it starts working its way down in there. Okay. What I'll do also is take these, and I don't want the Loctite on the outside of it. I want it in there where the screws are, where the grub screw is going to go. If you go online, they have a picture of this on their Team Durango on how to do this. There's one thing on their website it says use 2 grub screws. Kit doesn't give you enough to use 2 grub screws on each CVD. You only get 1 grub screw. I'm going to build it to the instructions as to using 1 grub screw. We'll see how it holds up. If they start backing out and having problems with them, I'll take them back out and I'll order some extra grub screws and I'll build it with 2 grub screws. So let that sit for a second so that Loctite, that thread locker, gets down in there. And then what you'll do, we will take this piece and push it in there. Now you just have to line this up together. So the reason I did that white out on that flat part, it makes it easier to line this up. So put the pin in. Hope my head's not in the way. Alright, let's get this in there. Alright, I normally keep a toothpick on hand, but I must have missed it. Just make sure you get that white spot lined up with the grub screw spot where it's going to go. You want that as flat as possible so the grub screw can get as much sorry, my head's in the way. There you go. And make sure you screw the grub screw down with on the Loctite side, and you'll be able to see that white spot in there, even through the red Loctite. And that's it. Wipe it up, keep it clean, get that extra Loctite that's loose in there. And that's pretty much it. Let them sit for, well, you know, the Loctite takes, the thread locker takes like 24 hours for it to actually cure. And just clean it up the best you can inside there. And that's it. Let it dry before you start running it. And there you go. The CVD. Now I don't know how well it's going to hold up. I didn't research this kit when I bought it. It was kind of a spur of a moment, but now since I have it, I had looked it up a little bit online, looked at some forums, and some people were having problems with the pin backing out and causing problems with their stuff. So, Team Durango says to make it bulletproof, add 2 grub screws, one on both sides, because if you spin it around, you got a spot to put another grub screw. The kit only comes with enough to do 1 grub screw per CVD. So if you find that you're having problems with that, get some extra grub screws and put 1 on each side, and I think that would probably solve it, but I'll see. Alright guys, thanks for watching.